All right, welcome everyone. My name is Jarne,
Welcome,
and
welcome.
to give my brother the opportunity, as last week as well, to just introduce what we're up to in this call, and then we're going to start um, into it.
Thank you, brother. So, an intuition came to continue what we were talking about last time. So, we'll be going over, we wanted a bit of continuity about what is to be a vertical man, both in an energetic and somatic meaning. So, we're going to be talking today about how you could use your life force, your sexual energy, and first off use it to heal, use it to ground, and how you could actually use that energy to get what you want on the external world. And also, if there is any time for it, we can also talk or go over shame that actually stops us from really harnessing that power.
Beautiful.
Over to you, brother.
Yes, then I just invite us to sit down comfortably with, or lay down, like whatever you're doing right now. Just become present in your seat, and maybe close your eyes if it helps you to be more present within yourself. And just feel your seat, or feel your belly button. Also, and just bring the awareness to the area from the belly button below to your ass, your hips, legs, and feet. And just feel whatever you feel in this present moment. Just observe whatever is there. No right, no wrong, no good or bad. Just witnessing whatever is present. And take a slow and deep inhale down into that area from below the belly button, down into the lower belly, your hips, legs, and feet. And exhale through the mouth down into the earth. And just again, just be aware of whatever changed through having this one conscious breath. Just observe, witness, not good nor bad, just whatever. Just be aware. And take another slow inhale from that area down below the belly button that we just mentioned, up inside the navel. And exhale gently from the navel up towards the solar plexus. And being with the awareness inside the solar plexus, taking another inhale from the solar plexus up into the heart, into the center of the chest, into the energetic heart, the spiritual heart in the middle of the chest. And being there with your exhale, just observe again the energy inside and around the chest area and see what comes up in terms of the intention that you want to bring into the time that we have as men, as brothers in this moment. And what energy do you want to bring into the space? What is it that you want to bring as an energy, as an embodiment into this room with men, with brothers who listen, who give feedback, who reflect without judgment? And inhale that intention back into your heart and exhale it down into the lower part below the belly button. Take another inhale from the bottom of your spine up towards the heart, up towards the throat, and into the center of your head. And hold the breath for a few moments inside the middle of your head before you exhale gently through the mouth. And from here, just know that you're not alone, that we're all going through the same shit sometimes, and always, to be honest, and that we're here to just have some conversations that allow us to be seen, to be valued, and to share connection, true connection from the heart, without judgment, witnessing one another and sharing whatever is present. So, whenever you feel like it, just come back into your body, maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes, or just do whatever you feel like it, stretch yourself if you have a call to. And I'm going to, yeah, give the mic to Mahmoud, and then we're going from here.
Thank you, brother, for the meditation as always. My intention for the meditation and for this call was basically truth, authenticity, and also a way to convey the message in a way that can be accepted as an expansion and not something that we need to suppress or that we need to hide our authenticity or who we are. Because when we start to talk about sexual energy, life force, the feminine energy within us, it could be somehow underwhelming when we understand that maybe for the past, I don't know, full decades that we didn't use our sexual energy in a way that could be aligned with ourselves and with our purpose and with God, however we understand God. So the previous episode we talked about how sexual energy could be distorted. So basically, humans have, or we as men, especially in the way we are born in our biology, we have tons of sexual energy moving through, and it comes as no surprise when we're when we as brothers or as men are moving through heaviness, we're moving through trauma, we're moving through a low energy brain fog. Always my questioning with my clients or with my brothers: where is your sexual energy at? What are you giving your attention to for most of your day? What are the thought patterns that are moving? And sometimes sexual energy or tantra, they will go directly into the energy and try to open up the man to, well, all of these beautiful energies. But in the beginning, it's very good to understand that we have to approach this energy from a place of groundedness, from a place of self-ownership, from a place of honesty within ourselves about who we are and how we use this energy. So basically, um, when I started off understanding this energy, I went out of view, went out of distractions. So it's good to understand this energy more and more when you sit with yourself. And sitting with oneself means that you take your time in solitude, not in isolation, but in solitude, and you start to understand how your energy runs without any outside distraction. Say, for example, friends that take your attention, um, or social media, you need to do something of a call, what I call a capacity, interrupt capacity, to really understand that from the top head here, we have a big screen just screening thoughts, 6,000 of transitional thoughts happening. And underneath the neck here, we are having a body that just reflects in emotions. And when you start to interrupt capacity and you don't basically put your attention out there and you start doing some body practices that put you in your own body, using your body as home, you'll start to understand that there are forces moving within your body. And one question that I always ask my brothers is that, okay, do you feel your heart? Is your heart open or closed? And then we do some like meditation, somatic meditations to actually access the belly. And what I found out is that most men will have a numbness underneath their belly because they're not connected in that place. And underneath it would be the hip area. And the hip area somatically is where shame is stored. For most men, for me, I went into sexual abuse in my in the times I was growing up, and that sexual abuse I understood growing up with some of my religious suppression and all of that. I had what I call a shame cap over my sexuality. So I would treat that sexuality as huge tension that needed to be released, needed to be ejaculated, needed to be spent energetically in spontaneous adventure or meeting new other people, getting validated for who I am, getting seen, saying all of that. And all of that is expenditure of energy. Yeah. What we want to understand first is that we need to spend time on ourselves, re anchoring, re downloading ourselves back into our body until you can actually feel, in a body sense, your lower tummy, your lower back. You could feel the energy moving through your balls. You could feel the energy moving through your shaft. You could feel the energy moving through your perineum. All of the Kegel exercises are spiritual pranic exercises to actually move the lower three energies of the chakras up to the upper three. So some men, because we just ejaculate, I don't know, like once a week, don't have a connection to that energy. And sometimes I'm being misinterpreted as a guy who actually tells to guys to suppress their energy. But it's just a matter of treating yourself as an instrument. A guitar will give you the best tunes if it's in tune. So it's just a way to practice with yourself. What is your upper limit? There are times where you're going to need to release that energy because you haven't used it well. And there are times where you're going to have to hold. There are times where you're going to have a beautiful woman in front of you and you want to do all the woo tricks and you want to woo her or all of that because she's so beautiful. And sometimes you would take that energy and use it for yourself and your purpose. It's all your choice. And I'll pause here and open up the conversation, of course, because I can go on for an hour. So there's any reflections, any feedback before we move on?
Thank you. Yeah, or Tom, like if you want to say something, please feel free to do so. I don't know if you have time to speak. I know Jeremy is listening if he's curious on what we've been talking about, what this call generally is about. And I also want to speak about my own intention of this call, which is also like radical honesty and integrity and being present within my body, being able to utilize my sexual energy in this space here, like the creative energy, to really move the needle, right? To move something, to make an impact for myself, but at the same time for others. And I do believe that when we are in our creator power, like we are creators, like, what we do with our sexual energy is like we really, like, we are creating in life. And when we are stuck in life, or we are not utilizing our creative force in a way that is of benefit for creation, and we're using it to escape or to manipulate or to just have this pleasure and get over with it, to release tension because we don't know how to channel that energy in an efficient way, then we may want to look at that. We may not. Some may choose to just keep wanking around, but I'm not here to wank around. I'm here to get things done. And I think in my own life, like, I was wanking around, and I was never happy with me doing that, you know? And we're so conditioned through society, through being able to watch porn in such a young age by just opening the internet. It's just insane.
Yeah,
It is really,
yeah,
really insane. So I want to really bring awareness to that we can utilize it for purposes that are of benefit for ourselves. That even we ejaculate or whatever, we can do it in a way that we're not feeling ashamed or guilty, right? So there are many different ways of how to utilize sexual energy. We can start and go out and create something. We can create art. We can, I don't know, build a community. We can utilize it to build our business, to bring people together or whatever, but we don't need to waste it. Like when we waste our creative energy, we feel that. Every man knows what I'm talking about. We feel depleted if we are not using it for real creation purpose. So I also again want to open up the call. Jeremy is just unmuting himself, so go for it, bro.
So I get this. I work in healthcare. I'm surrounded by women everywhere, nurses. You know, a lot of women, and I sometimes feel like my creative ability and my ability to, be from my perspective is different. And we had a conversation. I was actually in a Zoom this morning with a group that I listen to every morning. And it's all women were there. The two men that usually show up that weren't there. And, um, we were just talking about it. And it was a different perspective because women and men have, I mean, we're all equal. I'm not, don't get me wrong. But there's a perspective difference, I think, when men join and when you mix with men and women, and it's true with the same with women and men, you know, and how we decide to spend our energy. Because we were actually talking about that this morning. And I think women think about differently, you know, especially like in businesses and in life decisions, how they spend their energy, you know, and men spend it differently than women do, their energy. And when, this the subject, thinking about it from an ejaculation, and the release of that energy is different than what women do. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to,
makes
yeah, I'm
absolute
trying
sense.
to make some sense of this, like, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's no one has any bad intentions, men and women, but we have different ways that we are creative, and but sometimes, women's creativity is more, not always, but I think women tend to mingle more, and tend to socialize more. Not all men. I mean, I'm an extrovert. I'm by no means an introvert. Um, you know, so I'm an extrovert, and I tend to. I'm not afraid to speak up and mingle with people. But there are a lot of men I think that feel uncomfortable with their creativity and where they spend their energy at. It's not really a question. It's more of a just a
Beautiful.
thought. So I have to go back to work. I stepped out to say this because I heard it. And
Great
I
man.
think it's a great conversation. All right. Bye.
Thank you, Jarne. Yeah, Mahmoud, I think you have some take to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. 4 or 5 months ago, I remember I was in a school that was all women, and I had to leave because I understood I didn't have the container necessary to actually not leak my energy with emotionally or energetically with other women. And I understood I was not ready really to hold my energy and to go for it. So for Jeremy, like, you're doing a fantastic job. Of course, if you're in healthcare and the energy is mainly estrogen, and that's my only feedback to you, man, is have your own solitude time. Because even in partnership, sometimes when you say don't spend a lot of time with your partner, because that merging just starts to kill polarity. You start becoming more feminine, and the polarity just starts to fade away. And sometimes even sleeping in different beds could actually electrify or make the sexual energy between you and your partner more and more, because there's this tension. Sleep together, there's more oxytocin, but there's less polarity. So always for men, of course, I'm not gonna tell men to do what I'm doing. Is that because I really honor my inner work to a degree that sometimes people would say it's crazy. I had to leave work because I wanted to really prioritize my container, but other men can't do that. So what I would give you as a feedback is have your time, take your walks, go into the jungle if you have a jungle, or play your instrument, do something that a man could do, or join this community of men. We as men, when we start to talk to each other, we start to actually, energize each other every time, every time, every time. So always, yeah. So that was my feedback to Jeremy. And it's very important to understand your own concepts related to your own day. So sometimes in work, there is this energy of exchange that's going to happen. So just figure out the ways during your day where you could recharge that energy so you don't feel depleted. And the depletion just isn't ejaculation or porn, it could be an emotional, energetic depletion. Yeah. So it goes way, way deeper and way deeper, but we're just like started here, me and Yarna, to really go into it. Um, so yeah, brother.
It's interesting.
You want to?
I come like
Yeah.
from a, I agree, and like because I do understand the point and from where you come from, with what I'm listening to from you coming like for like a year or so, that I know you a little longer than a year. And
Yeah.
me, like I am very electrified also by being with women, so um because I just love that. Like it just makes me feel like, oh wow, like women do have a certain understanding that is different to men. They see life in a more multi-dimensional way, which allows the wisdom in me to come out in a different way, you know. And then there is the time that I definitely do need. I do need lots of time by myself, and when I've been with partners, I don't have a partner in this moment, even though I could. I decide not to. because of also like the inner work that I'm doing right now. And it just like I have such a focus on what I'm here to do and the message that I'm here to bring, that I'm in a state right now where for me it is very difficult to commit to a partnership where I'm not sure about if
Mm,
this will last, right? For like because I'm like I do believe in like like I always felt like there is someone who just like gets me, right? But in order for that to be happening, I know also that I have to get myself. Like I have to have my own back. I have to be able to support myself in a way that I'm independent and that I can be in my own strength without needing needing her, right? Like this needy energy. And I think this is kind of what you're also touching about, which I think we men have. And
yeah,
I think the men
yeah,
who have difficulties to own their own feminine, to nurture themselves in a
yeah,
way that when they're coming together with a woman or they spend time with women or they're in a partnership, that they're not dependent on her feminine energy to be held, right? Because I feel like
yeah,
I had this in the morning when I looked into the east and I just connected and took some breaths. I felt how my right toe was above my left toe. So the feminine was below, the masculine was above, and I held myself with my own feminine. I also had my right palm inside my left palm. So I held myself like I held my own masculine energy within my inner feminine energy. And I mostly do this
yeah,
to be I mostly have this this energy that I am holding my own masculine self within my feminine. And when it's
yeah,
different, when I'm in the doing mode, I'm more in the mode of like, okay, yo, my masculine side is in the front and I'm protecting my feminine whilst I'm just doing the things that I came here to do. So, and I think
yeah,
everyone of us comes from a slightly different perspective and is on a different journey, also based on the upcoming, where we come from, culturally speaking, from the family and,
yeah,
the systems that we're brought up in, that we just, whatever we got to do, like what I recommend other people is what I recommend myself as well, is just learn to what it means to take care of yourself, to be so clean within your own energy, to be so sure about yourself that if you go out and spend time with others, that you're not depending on other people to validate you, where you're at, right? So you just know it.
yeah,
I think man gotta know his direction and be clean so that the woman can just like feel safe in this masculine physical presence, because the world is fucking crazy, and how can I protect the women if I can't stand by myself, if I have difficulties to be alone, right? If I'm not taking care for myself. So this is where I come from. I definitely want to have a partner, because it's just beautiful to share that journey, but I'm not willing to take any step back on what I'm creating right now and the movement that I have in pushing forward the mission that I'm here to push forward for humanity, right? Because like the mission is not just for me, but I have like a mission that is just so much larger than the physical self that we call Jarne. And yeah, this is kind of where I'm at in this moment.
for sure, brother. And beautiful.
Easy, brother.
So
Bobby says like more curious listening right now. That's good, bro. Enjoy
can
listening, and whenever you have anything to give feedback to or whatever, and if not, it's also fine. So easy.
Yeah, I might actually now want to tell a little bit about
um
my journey.
Yeah, great.
Or am I interrupting, Mahmoud?
Not at all, I
No.
think.
All good.
Okay. Yeah, my own journey when it comes to sexuality was, I would say, starting very fulfilled and starting very high on energy. And it just got very bad because I had my first relationship within the context of almost like treating sex as therapy for the other person, to the point where she did not use that therapeutic effect to the fullest. And at some point, it just hurt me more than it helped her, and I felt very much exploited, taken advantage of, and like just like I was just good enough for that sexual experience, but just walking on eggshells every time outside of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, man. Very vulnerable share.
Yeah. I definitely have experience. Like if I look back, I've had like similar I have experienced similar feelings. Like you bring up something in me that I have experienced that I can relate to. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt right to share it with
Yeah,
you guys, so I also appreciate you creating that space.
Amazing. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
appreciate it.
I'm also very glad
Um,
that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
no, no, go
continue.
for it. Go for it. I would love to
Um,
Go
hear you.
I'm
and
I,
it
I
Please
was
I
continue.
just wanted to say I'm also just very glad that that's in the past now, and I've been in a very fulfilling relationship for the last 4 years now. That's all I wanted to add, really.
great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's what I wanted to add, guys, is that it's very rare to find someone where you could actually from the opposite sex that you could have a conversation of what's your preference and that you could make love without performing it or trying to please the other. And this whole thing of having a partner that you could actually communicate with sexually. So when your guys are done, you are feeling more energized than are depleted. You haven't extracted from each other. That's just the beauty of what a man and woman could do.
Yeah.
And the reason, if I could add, of course, for Yarna, is that when I say men need to get together more and more, and well, I wouldn't say minimize your interactions with women, but understand more and more your why you're attracted more and more into the feminine energy, because women have something that we don't, which is the intuition, which is they see at the night. And the problem becomes when you start giving parts of yourself to different women, and this is where you could get fragmented as a man. But the whole concept, and I'm in a partnership that is like that, is that I have one woman that I'm in service to in mind, body, and soul. Even in times where we are in separation, I do my best to be loyal from all of those planes. And the idea is that when, just like Kiana said, when you provide that safety within you, when you approach a relationship from a place that you are whole and complete, and when you have a purpose that is actually bigger than you and your partner is not your purpose,
Yes.
then yeah, go for it, and feel it. But I am just really wary of us men because no matter the different cultures, and I'm here to speak truth, guys, no matter the different cultures that we're coming from, I have sat with different men across different continents in the past 2 or 3 years, and always it is related to us men not really getting all the unconditional love from the mother and not stepping into manhood by being initiated by our fathers. This is a recurring theme for all of us, and it spans until men that are 60 or 65 years old who are still not initiated by other men. So, again, before we could understand the feminine energy, we have to understand the feminine energy within. And before we understand the feminine energy within, we have to cultivate the masculine. And yeah, I'll leave it to that for any feedback or reflections, guys.
Great. Yeah. It's like, yin and yang. And I think what the power is when men come together, it is just, I think we had this conversation last week with the performance. And this is something that I just really don't like, and I've never really been like that in public, that I had the feeling that I need to perform. I could see that possibility in the field, right, in the collective field, and I'm part of that. But I chose not to. I tried it once or twice, but it just doesn't feel great at all to perform in any way, shape, or form. And also the reason why we have this call not open for women, but we want to share it with women, is that we have a container that we can, as men, hold each other, and then also, share the conversations that we have with the women and receive some feedback, because this then will allow us to go even deeper into whatever we experience, through receiving the feedback and the reflections from the women. And I have a strong call to really heal that relationship collectively from the masculine and feminine polarities. And it doesn't matter where you come from, what you identify as, what you like to express, because honestly, I think what we're here is like we're just balancing this entire thing. I think the universe generally is balance, and we've been mistreating and taking off the feminine energy because we were lacking it inside. So what mostly white men did, not just white men, like many black men, did this as well. And I have met women as well who have been abused. Like, it's a common theme of women that I attract into my life that just share that they have had certain experiences, from a very young age, from being sexually abused by men, by their parents, by their uncle. And it's a very, very deep topic that I just want to bring out. And I think we have to bring it out. We have to look at it, whatever that is, in order for us to resolve it. And we moved away so much. We say Mother Nature for a reason, right? We name it for a reason. So we mistreated our nature, and I think man, for centuries, and we've been brought up into this world like this. We all see it. It's not to deny that we've been taken from children and women what we lacked inside ourselves to fulfill ourselves, or to feel whole. But it's just like this short-term pleasure or satisfaction, and it has been very evil in many, many ways, like we know it. you know, what's happening right now in the world, like things really start to show up, that we lack that feminine energy inside us and misused the power that the masculine has, that right now we're just longing for the uniting the feminine and the masculine again in a way that we
Mm.
both feel appreciated and seen.
Yeah, brother. Um, I've been sharing with lots of brothers about this topic, and when I go over with holding space for this sexual energy, I always get this call that we are in a collective now. That, and it's an excuse, of course, my the profanity of it, but we are living in a world that is raped or be raped, rape or be raped, and um, there's a like a statistic that says 4 out of 5 women are actually got sexually abused. And you would also, if we go over to men as little boys, you would have a big statistic of boys as well getting raped or getting sexually abused by the unintegrated sexual shadow. And the whole thing here is that what I believe is that we as men, over time and over lots of societal conditioning, we had under the scope, the first thing that they wanted to destroy was the masculine man, the man that can actually protect the women and children. And unfortunately, what I see now, and I just like can't unsee, is that we have millions and armies of men that are just moving with the flow, and millions of other women that are just in their mind trying to protect themselves. And this is what we need to actually start to step in and start to ask ourselves, actually, as we as men, and it starts with the language of safety. Do you feel now safe in your inner constitution, in your body? And I came here with the intention of truth. I don't feel safe within my body because I always felt scared for 3 decades. And the past 2 years, I have been trying to integrate that and using my body as home, feeling that safety. Because if I can't feel safe, I will never make my partner feel safe. Yeah, if I still have some unintegrated shadow from all the porn that I've watched since 7 fucking years old of age, that shit came to my computer. I still have porn moving through my inner wirings of the brain, and I know that because I have meditated so much to the point that I understand now my own conditioning. I could see myself as I objectify the woman in front of me. And this is why I decided I don't want to go outside of my house until I understand this wiring, and I still understand more and more until I could actually treat these women as human beings. Treat the kids as way where I could actually allow the kid to raise me and not raise the kid. So we have lots of work, brothers, actually, to embody in order to make this world feel safe. And the time is
Mhm.
now.
Yeah, thank you. And it's also when we leave this call, let's say, you know, and we meet with other men, like, how can we actually not just do it in a have this energy and cultivate this energy in this call, but how can we actually cultivate that respect that we have towards ourselves and towards creation, towards women who are, you know, really birthing things into existence, who brought us here. God damn it. Like, you know, we came through their portal. Like, how can we actually be of service, not just to one woman, but to all of them? This is my thing, right? And this is also why I'm still single, is because I'm in a similar boat with my brother here, and that I actually want to be there not just for one woman. And you know, even though I am, you know, I couldn't have two partners. I'm honest. I just couldn't. I don't wanna. I'm just more like this one. I just love, like, I just know it inside me. It's just how I roll things. However, everyone, you know, whatever you want to do, do. I'm not putting any restrictions on whatever lifestyle you want to live. But I want to be in a relationship just as brother says, that I can hold space for her and be so clean within my own energy that I have not one single thought crossing my mind of being with another woman. And I better stay alone. I'm honest before I can do that. I better stay by myself before I can do this. And I'm practicing and I'm releasing and I'm harnessing, and I'm really doing and showing up in a way that I catch myself the moment that I see anything or anyone even. Yeah, this is what was the point that I wanted to make. Because if I'm going out with some other brothers, or I don't know, I will go on a festival, and some man may say, "Oh yeah, she's beautiful," and it's one thing to say that she's beautiful, because honestly, I love women, and women are beautiful. Like the nature of the feminine beauty in this human body for me is magnificent. But how can I look at her without any perversity or pervert kind of thought crossing my mind? Like, and I'm not having many, but I see it, and I have this collective energy, and I just want to utilize this body, which is a fucking machine, to be protective for all at the same time, to honor creation, to honor the women who are giving birth to us, everyone equally, everyone equally. And I'm in big I really very humble in the way that I interact with women. um I feel lots of women being attracted. It's just what it is, like. And I'm attracted to women as well, but again, what is that attraction? Is it coming from a shadow pattern, or is it actually an attraction for me to be the man that I came here to be, in order to protect whatever I need to protect, in order to serve whatever I'm here to serve? And this is something that I really bring to people's minds, is like, what relationship do you have within yourself when you are surrounded by other people? It can be men, it can be women, and really look very, very closely on everything that's crossing your mind. And be also aware of, not every thought that crosses your mind is generated by yourself, because honestly, I didn't generate many of those things, and when I generated them, I let them go. But we are all telepathic. We are all telepathic, and we are also receiving thoughts from other people. So when I'm in a group setting where men and women are, or many women and me, and there is a woman who is attracted to me, or like in a surrounding, like, we all pick up on those things, and we are all psychic. We are all connected all the time. This is not just for men to take responsibility, but if a woman watches this also, we all have to take responsibility for the things that we are aware of, and to learn to say no if we are aware of those energies, and to embody that in a way that's very clear for every person in the room. And people feel that. Like, seriously, people feel that if you are in that presence and you're respected. Without you needing to speak a word, people feel your energy in the room because you can hold that energy. All right, like, we have 6 minutes left. Like, I have another call happening in 6 minutes. Jeremy, can you keep it short?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this out loud here. So I'm 50 years old, and and my wife's the same age, and she's going through changes. She's going through her changes, and that's something I've noticed is my sexual energy has changed, and I don't watch as much porn as I may have when I was younger. And something else that's happening, and this conversation is making me think about this, is I have a different perspective on my wife right now. Like, you know, and maybe a different energy that I'm feeling for, and she has this different energy towards me too. And we're just going through life, a different season of change. And honestly, it's creating more of um, um, equality. It's creating it so that I am seeing women in a different way than I used to, you know, and um, and that's a good thing, you know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that for a while. I don't watch porn as much as I used to. Like even a year ago. Some of that might be related to more of a focus towards a higher being, God. You know, and I'm doing a lot of focus and attention on that, and but it's also related, I think, to actual changes in my life and the relationship changes. And but now you know, I'm glad I got into this conversation because I might think about that, like how to treat women and how to see women. I'm, by no means am I not treating women the wrong way, but thinking about that, you know, they brought us into this world. They can certainly take us
Mhm.
out, but you know, but yeah, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to ponder that for a little while. It's gonna take me some thought, you know. That's it.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, amazing.
Uh,
So, brother, can you guide us through like a 2, 3 minute practice to anchor the thing?
I don't think I can, but because of the time. But if I could like give a feedback to Jeremy to close with the call, and it's a feedback to all of us, and it's something that I'm working on now for a year. So, like I said, we are, as men, we are full of sexual energy. It's just the life force that's moving through us. And if it's not going through creation, you also mentioned that you stopped watching the porn. Me as well. I haven't watched porn for 3 years now. Um, it's just good to understand where is this energy moving, and especially how does your mind perceive it when it moves, because it's so instinctual, it's so penetrative. It's like a shot, really. That the most inexperienced of men would just find that this okay, maybe I'm just being horny. But the question is, how much fantasies are moving through us with that energy? How many of the times could you catch yourself fantasizing, or maybe just taking extra 3 or 4 seconds if a beautiful woman passes by? All of those are just like indications that those instincts are moving horizontally and not vertically. So it's just good to see how is that energy moving through us.
Thank you. Yeah.
And with that,
And it's like how we call it the vertical man. What the brother is just talking about, Mahmoud, is like we're learning to channel that energy along the spine, right? Or along the central column, the chuchumna, the central energy channel. And once we're learning to really be free within our system, the energy centers, we are very easily to detect certain things and to utilize them for the greater good, to allow the godly presence to come in, but also to allow the creative force or the earthly force also, you know, like to meet within us and to then stand vertically straight and be able to vertically and to horizontally be more stable because we are stable within ourselves. So, thank you guys. Amazing. Let's just take one breath all together deep down into the belly. Belly, filling the chest, and exhaling it very gently. And just being grateful for the presence, for how we showed up for one another. Thank you, Torben, for being here. I see your comments. And I appreciate, or we appreciate you too. And see you later. One love, guys.
thank you, bro.